So when it comes to the fruit of evolution, not every single episode needs to be this comedic genius type level of episode. But one thing that I have noticed over the last couple of weeks is the funnies and the comedic, elements of the actual anime have just kind of declined a little bit. Now, that's not saying that it's still not enjoyable, because it very much so is. And what the last couple of episodes have done is they've been setting us up for what's going to be coming next, which I think is completely okay. And I'll talk about that in a second. But one thing that the anime did set up and did have over the last 7 weeks of the anime was that there was going to be at least 2 to 3 moments of each episode that are going to kind of be like those hilarious type moments. And I just really feel like episode number 9 and episode number 8, I feel like they both kind of lack that just a little bit, which is very interesting. And when you kind of think about it, and again, it's just kind of like, well, why do you feel that way? Well, because they set up our expectations in a way over the last, again, like 7 episodes, and then suddenly they kind of shift course. Now, again, we know it's because they're setting us up for what's going to end up coming next with the following episodes as we near the last final weeks of the Fruit of Evolution. And again, that is completely okay. So with this specific episode, we're getting set up for what's coming next, which is next week's episode, which is Monsters versus the Guild, which is basically the guy who's trying to revive the Demon Lord, as well as the very corrupt kingdom working in cahoots to try and make those things happen. And the next episode is going to be, again, Monsters versus the Guild, and it's going to be kind of setting us in motion for Seichi to not only come across the demons and what they're about, and the dude who's trying to revive the Demon Lord, but then also get into the kingdom where Oliga came from and kind of figure out what the hell's going on there. Now, we also got him creating a very interesting spell with our one and only Abraham Lincoln. Freaking Seichi, such an idiot. But he was able to create a spell that could release Oliga's slave collar, which is going to need to be extremely useful for when he comes across all of his classmates, since apparently somehow they all have some type of enslavement collar now as well. So that's going to be very interesting to see as we kind of go into the next week's episode. All of that ends up happening between him finding out about the demons and him finding out about the actual kingdom, which that probably won't be next episode, because next episode seems to be really focused on the demons themselves invading. But the following one after that, I'm sure we'll get more insight into that. Last thing I want to talk about is last week's episode was really focused, well, supposed to be focused. It was called the Black Oliga, which is the Black Cat Oliga, which is Oliga, the black cat that we were introduced to. And it really didn't introduce us at all last week. It was really just the beginning and the end that we got some of her introductory stuff. Well, this week we got to remediate, and we got to really fix a lot of that. And we really got an in-depth look at who Oliga is, who she was, and who she is going to be moving forward. So who she was essentially was she was somebody who, during the kingdom's wiping out of all demons and every other race besides humans, all the cat race that she's from were all put into prison and enslaved and given different roles, and were trained as different assassins to serve the kingdom. And her mother was actually taken away to an encampment, and she was removed from the equation. So the reason that she's been doing what she's been doing is because she has a slave collar, and she's under the rule of the kingdom. So we got to see all of her backstory, which is very, very sad. And it's going to be very nice to see her maybe be able to go and free her mother at some point, and also see her now be the little sister of Seichi, as he likes to call her, which I think is really cute as well. A couple of issues that I had with Oliga, specifically as a character, is I don't know how fast the cat folk mature, but they did endow her quite a bit. And for an 8-year-old, I think, come on, anime, you guys don't need to do that. If you want to make her a little bit older, that's okay. Make her 13, make her 14. That's a little more understandable. But when she's 8, she shouldn't be endowed at all, because she's a little child. But regardless, maybe they age faster. But the good thing is Seichi isn't taking her in as some kind of love interest. He's taking her in more as like a daughter, little sister type role, which I definitely think is going to be really, really cute. I just hope that it isn't something to where she's like secretly in love with Seichi the whole entire time, because that I don't, I don't want to see until maybe she gets a little bit older. If they do some kind of time skip, then that's completely okay. But that's really all I'll say on that is just that. But we did learn more about her, and I was definitely pleased to see all of that, which I thought was really cool and really interesting. Outside of that, that's really all that happened. He's going to be protecting the king now moving forward as the Valkyries are going off to fight the initial fight with the demons. And we know that a week or two that passes, the demons are going to come back and invade. And he's going to have to hold them off with the rest of the kingdom. So that's kind of what we got looking forward to next week. But again, another good episode. Not great. It was just an okay episode. Again, last 2 episodes is introducing a new character to us and then introducing us to what's going to happen next. I really hope that Seichi ends up meeting the Demon Lord's daughter, and I hope that there is something there. Not like romantic, just like a relationship, like a friendship, or I hope that they are able to see eye to eye. I think that'll be really cool too. But I'll leave you guys off on that thought that I hope that that's kind of where they go, and I'm interested to see when he finally meets all the classmates and he gets reunited on what's going to end up happening there. Let me know what you guys thought about this week's episode down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys being here each and every week for the Fruit of Evolution, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode. Peace.